I got a 22-pound pack right now. I'm sweating like a pig.
Yeah.
I'd be laying on top of my trash bag.
Just did a 4-mile ruck as fast as we could. You can tell I'm winded and sweaty. The goal here is to be a stealthy fire. I'm gauted and I got a blister on my foot. So, yeah. Real talk. Clearly we're done with our challenge for the weekend.
That was part of the
We're in good spirits.
Yeah, we're in good spirits. We're in good spirits. I don't know, I just want to kind of give a cap to it and get his findings from the weekend as being the tour guide, instructor, if you will, and then our findings as being participants in it. So.
Yep. Yeah, you're not going to sleep nearly as well.
You're not going to sleep as
I didn't last night because we had, coyote coming up to the camp.
Yeah, there was stuff coming around us.
Yeah, something walked to my left, yeah.
Thought we heard a hog off in the distance as well. And there was hog scat everywhere.
Daddy Longleg came across my face.
Wolf spiders, etc. Not to mention, we were thinking about snakes.
It's a good thing when it's pitch black.
Yeah.
So you don't know?
You just you
just assume that, you just pretend nothing's out there.
Nothing's out there.
Yeah. I sleep pretty good in the woods usually. Last night I slept okay.
I'm aching a little bit, I'll be honest with you.
Mostly your groin strap.
You tell the audience.
Yeah, so I was in the hammock last night, used a lot of legs yesterday.
Yeah.
So I ended up like I called it the lotus position somehow. Like my feet touching, my knees out. And I was like, oh, that's comfy. Yeah, that's it. Well, I fell asleep.
Give the full demonstration, though.
Well, I can't now. like that.
Yeah.
And I woke up. My groin straps were locked up. I was stuck in that position.
We had to put him in traction.
I was very close to calling for JJ to
hang you upside down and stretch you back out.
Get a crowbar or something and pry me out of that position. But seriously, I almost hollered for you. It was bad. You ever get those cramps like in those two straps on the back of your leg right there?
Back straps?
The back of your knee. Like when you're in bed and you bend your knee and it locks up and the first thing you try to straighten it. That happened, but it did it here.
But there.
Both sides, same time.
That's
it was
unpleasant.
bad.
I think that's going to be a thing now, the lotus position.
The lotus position. I don't know if you heard me, but I was like, oh God, oh God.
No.
Save me.
It was bad.
I think for me, it was more of being a first responder this weekend.
Well, yeah.
If you ever do something like this, make sure that you have a jump kit with you. More than Band-Aids. Like, I had to get into the jump kit 6 times. Some stuff that we had a
stabbing. Near the groin
groin
straps. Needed some help.
Yeah. We pulled a Lone Star tick off of somebody this weekend.
Yes. Yeah.
In a private area.
Those of you that aren't aware, it's a possibility if you get bit by a Lone Star tick that you get a disease that makes you allergic to red meat, which would be devastating.
I would just kill myself.
Which would be devastating to me. First time someone told me about that disease, I thought, you're screwing with me.
No
Shut
way.
up.
Yeah,
like that, you're being stupid.
That's impossible. I think there was a lot to be learned about the distance. Probably.
Yeah.
That's something that we're constantly trying to tell the audience. You think you're going to strap on this 60-pound pack and you're going to walk 20 miles
a day,
no problem.
In theory, like everybody, that's the thing. Like almost everybody, including myself, overestimates what you're capable of doing. Realize the hard way that I can't do what I thought I could do, at least without a lot of suffering.
Right.
Maybe I could, but it's going to be unpleasant.
But yeah, give it a try. And seriously, if you're the guy, and I'm not picking on you because I've been that guy. If you're the guy that says, oh, I got my get-home bag in my truck, I got 4 bug-out bags for my whole family set up, ready to go in the house and everything, put them burn things on your back and start walking one day, and it's going to make you double think a lot.
What's
Did
realistic?
anybody take anything out when we got through the first leg?
They were jostling gear throughout. They were either adding or taking out. Oh, well, I know for a fact that Jason, he dropped his laptop and his charging brick.
Yeah.
And it was literally 10 pounds that he took out.
Holy cow.
He was carrying it with him to be realistic. And I was like, well, dude, in a realistic scenario, this was the EMP. This computer
is
garbage.
Done,
He's like, why are you still carrying it? He's like, good point.
Yeah.
So he dished it. It was 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's a lot. Yeah, his pack went
lot.
from 25 to 15.
Yeah.
That's significant.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's huge.
I'm telling you, when you start having to freaking cover ground with your gear,
You think you can.
You got another thing coming.
Your eyes are going to be open. I mean, I'm a gear guy, obviously, right? And there's scenarios where gear heavy is good and okay.
Like in your truck.
Like in your truck. But like if you're having to get on foot and move distance, you need to be prepared to go minimal and have a little bit of suffering along with it. So, or you're going to key yourself. You're going to suffer way worse toting around 35, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds on your back.
And the thing is, even if you're fit, though, you're still not immune to all the other X factor stuff that could happen. You know, like maybe your feet get sore because your shoes don't fit right.
Socks get wet in the creek, you know, whatever.
Underwear's not right and you get galled.
Monkey butt.
But a lot of people say, like, you know, oh, I could walk 3 miles per hour easy for an hour. But then the next hour and then the next hour and the next hour, it exponentially gets worse. Yeah. It gets harder.
It does. I mean, I've done rucking, obviously. I honestly hate rucking. I always have. And I've tried to push myself to still do it, and I'm relatively fit, but I have a limit. I'm not going to push myself more than 4 miles per hour.
That's a good clip.
That would be dumb for me.
That's a fast walk. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pushing it for me too. So I did the 8 miles. We did 8 miles, and I was at the end of that 8, underwear wet, galled, blister on my left foot.
I soldered my underwear too much.
Yeah, it was bad. He's got Gold Bond in the jump bag, so
wet wipes and Gold Bond, gotta have it.
Yeah, so it's just little things like that that's going to take you down. That I don't think people that don't put some practice in are going to know. Right. And you got to take yourself right to that uncomfortable point to really know it. So I thought it was really cool, and I want to do it. I want to do more. I want to get better at it. I did not do the last 4 miler because I was on fire, and I know my limits, and I didn't want to be miserable for the next week. And that's
God
okay.
Spoke to him in a burning bush.
A burning bush, literally. Yeah, it was bad.
The nether regions.
It was bad.
These are the details that you won't know, and you can't really anticipate unless you go out and do it.
The treadmill don't do it, folks.
Yeah, you can't theoretical. You know,
no, not the real deal, because you're using muscles too that you're not used to using. Like when we went down to the creek, for example, like you start sinking in the mud. Next thing you know, I mean, doing enough of that, being wet, and not to mention the thing that nobody ever talks about is the stress that comes with the scenario itself, right? Like we created stress with what we did as far as the physical aspect of it, but when there's a lot of mental stress that comes from not knowing, like what's wrong with my family, what am I going to walk into when I get home? Let's say you actually did get home, and now you've got to set up some kind of forward operating base, so you can observe whatever's going on at your house.
And you're useless from the trek.
And you're useless from the journey itself.
Your groin straps are locked up and you're bedridden for the next day or two.
Assuming the lotus position in your yard.
You're hobbling around your own property like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, and in this scenario, that would definitely be the case. You'd have work to do when you got home.
Exactly.
Right? So most of us, if it was really, truly 50, 60 miles we had to walk, we'd be pretty spent. I'd be tired.
Yeah.
And that'd be a week minimum for me.
Just let's say you cover 10 miles in a day. I think you could do 10 miles in a day. The next day would be pretty rough. The day after that would be pretty rough. Yeah, so 50 miles, it'd take you 5 days easy. And you'd be wiped out. Yeah, wiped out. Yeah, it would suck.
Yeah. Nether regions would be destroyed.
Just turn into hamburger. I've seen the inner thighs turn to hamburger from chafage. It's bad.
And I couldn't imagine getting to that point because the initial part of it sucks.
Yeah.
You're starting a fire down there, Jack. Yeah. Like your skin is pissed and it's letting you know.
Yeah.
If you're a big guy and you got
thigh rubbage.
You got the thigh rubbage, it's bad.
Yeah.
I always am thinking about permissive versus non-permissive environment, right? And if I'm in a semi-permissive environment, you should always default to the non-permissive environment.
Yeah,
so,
assume it's on the
like I want to be in the air. And I did something a little bit different this weekend with my hammock, the way that, we set it up, and instead of like staking out our tarps, you were just enveloped in it, and then making sure we were perpendicular to the road, and then we went and did the test where we walked along the edge of it. You can't see it with your eye.
There's no way. Because you got the trunk of the tree blocking it, one. And two, it's in line with another tree directly away from it. And you're hidden.
Yeah, if you're in a non-permissive environment.
I just would have laid in my
sleeping.
poncho.
Right.
I'm gonna get in the poncho if it's raining. I'm gonna get in the poncho. I'm gonna lay down on the ground and be as low as
Just
possible.
deal with it.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about cutting and running.
Yeah.
That was part of the thing. Like this morning, like if we had to really cut and run, our setup would have been wrong.
No, yeah, for sure.
It'd take too long.
But if it was sure enough non-permissible,
I mean, if it was not permissive, we wouldn't have done that anyway.
we wouldn't have done that anyway.
Right.
We'd have just been in a
if
poncho.
anything, I'm probably going to
to
just be leaned up against something with my poncho on and my
Your
pack
pack's
ready to
on.
go.
Pack is on, leaned up
Right.
against it.
Kind of like some of my deer hunting events. Like
Exactly.
sit by
Yeah.
a tree and you fall asleep.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
Get that cat nap in.
And then when you gotta go,
Or
you just
whatever,
stand up and
yeah.
walk away.
Stand up, walk off.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's another thing. Like, what about the gear selection that you chose for it? There's videos proving Jason and I going to the airport, going on vacation,
Yeah.
going on these trips, right? So we've used the gear that we've actually took this weekend on trips before.
Right.
How do you feel about your gear selection? What you would add to it? What you would take away?
Yeah.
Would you change packs? On gear?
I would take away a good bit and change my pack. Now coming into this, I had no clue what was going on. I came with stuff to do whatever and quickly found out, oh crap, I got to shed a bunch of crap, right? So no knife, no firearms, no liquids, what I would be able to have in a carry-on and be able to put under my seat or put in the overhead compartments. My pack was a little big for that. I had my hammock, I had my tarp, poncho, and a bivvy or poncho liner. And I had a wazoo belt, which actually had that little ceramic knife in it, which
Yep.
I've gone through airports with.
Right. Not saying that you can.
It's a scraper.
It's happened.
It's a scraper and it's happened.
Yeah.
I might, on my next trip, they might take the whole belt. I don't know, you
yeah.
know? So I had some fire tinder in there. I've got a water bag in there. I got all the wazoo stuff in that. I had my grail, which I carry with me everywhere. And that was pretty much it, other than I had a clean shirt, clean underwears, clean socks. So
And pants. You carried extra pants.
I did,
In
yeah,
your
but I
bag.
didn't get into them.
Right.
So I wore these pants all weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna switch up my underwear selection. Wool. I did not have the proper underwear for doing this. Wool socks. I got those. Those worked out good. The extra pair of socks, obviously, for
That's
the
key.
traveling.
You gotta
is
have
key.
that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, take care of your feet. Because that stuff pops up. Like, I didn't have any foot issues that I knew of. Like, that last quarter mile of the 8 total, my feet started getting really hot on the
Yeah.
soles. And I was like, uh-oh.
Yep.
By the time I got here, I had blisters
Yep.
on my feet.
It happens
So
pretty fast.
once you feel it, it's over.
Yeah.
So you want to try to mitigate even getting there.
Yeah.
Every couple miles, cut off and take a break for a
Take
little
care
while.
of yourself. Yeah.
Let your feet
The
air
key is
out.
just getting ahead of it. So like I got a little blister between my toes, and I was not smart enough to stop and take care of it when I knew it was happening. I just
Yeah.
waited till I finished the lap, but the blister had already formed. So,
Yeah.
and then that blister pops open the next time you start walking, and then it causes problems.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
stay on top of it.
Stay on top of your feet, for sure.
Gabe did a good job of that this weekend. As a matter of fact, because I was doing the exact same thing as you, just in a different sense. Because I was like, man, I need some electrolytes right now. Like, I knew that, right? And Gabe, he had stopped, and I was like, what are you doing, bro? He's like, I'm putting electrolytes in my drink. I'll catch up to y'all. I was like, no, I'm going to stay with you.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it
Do it
anyway.
too.
You know?
Yeah.
So it took Gabe doing
Yeah,
it for me
hydration,
to
same
do
thing.
it.
Stay on top of hydration, because if you
Right.
get behind, it's really
So
hard.
hard.
It's really hard to catch
Yeah.
back up.
And don't do just water. Like, try to make a habit when you travel or any pack you're carrying, throw a fistful of the little packets of electrolyte.
Or just a little bit of salt,
Yeah.
better than nothing. Yeah. That's,
Yeah, the type of food that you carry with you as well. Like
salty
we were talking
foods,
about the nuts
mixed
and,
nuts that are
you're
salted.
right.
Always get the salted nuts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If for this purpose,
Exactly.
always get the salted nuts.
Which are readily available in airports.
Yes.
Obviously.
Mhm.
So that's one thing I did. I tried to bring snacks that I would buy at the airport. So
Right.
I had some M&Ms. I had some salted peanuts. I had a couple sticks of beef jerky.
Airport stuff.
And that was pretty much it. Oh, I had a pack of almonds that I never broke
Right.
into.
I really enjoyed
enjoyed it.
going around and individually people would ask questions and be able to, something maybe they were too embarrassed to talk about in front of other people.
Yeah.
So you get some one-on-one instruction and then you see the light bulb go off, you know, and it's like, oh
And-
man, that person's
and that's
empowered
enjoyable
now.
too,
That's
so-
really cool.
Even if you got a lot of experience, go to classes, because it's fulfilling to me. Just like we were down there in the ditch over there, and you were showing the fire starting stuff. That one fellow, the other guy, Jason, when they were showing this ferro rod, you'd have thought you just showed that guy a gold bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he was like, oh wow, like
they're not the same.
Like
they're
for people like us, we're like, it's a freaking ferrocerium rod, like big deal. But to him, it was new and it was exciting, and I dig that. Like that was cool.
Oh, and when I was helping him set up, I'm not kidding. He gave me like 17 fist bumps with every single little thing that I was showing him. Like you can do this and you can do that, you know. And he was just like so excited, you know. That made me feel good.
And you always learn something. Like I learned a few things this weekend from Jason, and some things like I've always used duct tape as a possible means for fire starting. What I typically do is I'll strip it in little strips and make like a bird's nest.
That works too.
And it works great. But what he showed, which I hadn't thought of, was he had a bundle, and he taped the bundle and then lit the tape and worked it around until it's fine. I've never thought of that.
It's the little bitty things like that are gold though. Like you pick up from different people or whatever. I mean, look, and all three of us are together talking about it right now. Like you should go and get some training. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Don't.
You never know what you're gonna pick up.
Don't ever think you got it figured out, because you'll learn something, or you'll have joy of watching somebody else learn something.
Yeah.
What is going on, people? My name is Austin, and this is the infamous Curran 1776, and today we'll be talking about EDC knives. I don't want to age you, but you've probably been carrying knives since as long as I've been alive.
Yeah.
That's accurate, right?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Look. Love y'all, mean it. See you next time. One of the bitches.
See ya!
That's good.
Good stuff, man. Good wrap up.
Oh, wait.
Easy.
Spider, bye, spider.